Hey guys, it's Tony from Nerdy and 30. I'm coming at you with another episode of the Movie Mouth. Today we're going to be talking about Mandy. Mandy is a horror movie that I didn't really hear about when it was in theaters. It premiered in the film festival circuit and it just came out on video not that long ago. Um, this is an awesome movie. It is a good movie for October, for Halloween time. It is a horror slash action slash trippy acid fest. I mean, this is one of the most unique horror films I've seen in a while, and some of the visuals in this movie are just out of this world. And I guess if we're going to talk about that, we got to talk about the director. His name's Panos Cosmatos. I've never even heard of him. He's young. In this trailer that you're seeing, it says it comes from visionary director um, Panos Cosmatos, and that could be more true. This is an I mean, the plot revolves around drugs, but it's reflected in the visuals. I mean, it stars Nicolas Cage, as you see in the trailer. Andrea Riseborough, she plays the titular Mandy, and Linus Roache, who plays the cult leader. You would probably know him from playing Thomas Wayne in Batman Begins. That's where I noticed him from. But the plot of this movie is Nicolas Cage and his wife Mandy live in a secluded cabin in the woods um, in the 1980s. I think it says 1983. He's a lumberjack, and they just kind of live a very secluded life. And one day she's walking to work, and a cult in a van, specifically the cult leader, sees her and just becomes obsessed with her. They then, what you think, summon demons with like an ocarina that looks like it's straight out of Ocarina of Time, and they go kidnap her. The cult leader, asks her to become part of the cult. She essentially says no, laughs at him, and then they brutally burn her to death in front of Nicolas Cage. And then he embarks on a crazy odyssey of destroying this cult, murdering them one by one. He forges his own axe. He wields a chainsaw in an epic chainsaw fight with one of the guys in the cult. I mean, this movie is unreal. Like I said, the visuals are very trippy. The lighting in this movie is awesome. Some of the shots I've never seen before. There's a specific shot you can see in the trailer coming up here where it blends. It's when the cult leader is speaking to Mandy, and it blends their faces together as they're speaking to each other, or is he speaking to her? It was very trippy, and a lot of this movie is, you're wondering, is this real? Is this happening? What is going on? But it's very unique, and the soundtrack has that 80s feel to it as well. And these, what you think are demons, has a Hellraiser feel. There's a lot of fades to black, which are reminiscent of John Carpenter and like The Thing. There's a lot of homage to 80s horror movies in this, and I feel like the plot of this movie is very basic, and in a poor filmmaker's hands, it would have been yet another crappy movie Nicolas Cage would have been in. I mean, he's starring in films left and right, 8, 9 films a year, and mostly to Netflix to try and pay off his tax debt. But he's mostly been giving terrible performances. But he's been, chucking out movies so fast, it's probably hard to, delve into a role. But this is probably the best performance I've seen him in a long, long time. I mean, the last performance I can think of that was any good of his was probably the first Kick-Ass when he played Big Daddy, but I honestly think this is better than that. Um, Nicolas Cage, when he's in movies with bad filmmakers, he usually turns out bad performances, but when he's in the hands of good filmmakers, he usually does really well. I mean, Nicolas Cage is a good actor. It's just, he has a tendency to overact. Even in this movie, there's a few scenes where you almost want to laugh, but I feel like he was doing that on purpose, but maybe he always does that on purpose. But this movie is intense. There's creepy parts. It has everything you want in a horror movie. It's trippy. It's psychological. It's kind of creepy. It got action in it. I mean, everything you'd want in this movie is in here. It truly is an all-in-one horror film. Um, the other performances, the supporting cast did really well. The writing was okay. I mean, it kind of plays on the cults of like the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. Um, but overall, this is a really good movie. It's trippy as hell. There was one scene at the end that I didn't quite get. A lot of these scenes are, color coded in red is almost like coming or going from hell or whatever. But at the end of the movie, he, the director basically shows you that they're on another planet, which I don't really understand, and that either this takes place on another world or he's just seeing that, or I don't really understand. But um, this is definitely, I mean, the basically, I mean, I can get into a little bit of spoilers here, um, maybe from here on out, but these demons or whatever that they summon, which I don't quite understand how they summon with that ocarina, because they just turn out to be people that are on this new form of acid that is almost like a mixture of methamphetamine and LSD, where they just become like, their pain tolerance is way up. They're like crazed animals, and he comes across the guy who's making the drug, before he comes across the cult, and just absolutely, he actually takes some of it, and that's when you find out that these people are just like so far gone. But shoot, I'm definitely gonna be putting this in the Halloween film cycle every year. This is definitely a rewatchable film. Plan on watching it again, um, pretty soon. This is a good movie. I heard good reviews, but I also heard that this is the type of movie that you either absolutely love it or you absolutely hate it. Um, I don't know how people can hate this movie. I mean, it's artistic. The visuals are great, but it's also, like I've been saying, an homage to like 80s horror and action. So it's got everything you want. So I would definitely highly recommend this movie, especially around this time of year. So check it out. It's one of Nicolas Cage's best movies in a long, long time. And Nicolas Cage is an American treasure at this point. It's become a meme, and how can you not want to see Nicolas Cage murder an entire cult? I mean, that should be number one on your movie to-do list this fall. So, um, if you, as always, if you like the videos, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews on the Movie Mouth here on Nerdy and 30. All right, guys, see ya.